I think that for a long time, agriculture finance has been associated with the idea of constraints, because whenever we talk about rural finance, agriculture finance, we talk about constraints. Very bad infrastructure in the rural area, very low density of population, very low level of education of both the clients and even the staff that then can be recruited in those areas, and very poor communication possibilities. And so all this add up are not only constraints for the clients, but also it is cost for the institution who wants to go into these rural area and serve the farmers or the rural household. And for a long time also, agriculture finance has been associated with the failure of agriculture development banks, and we all know that many of them has failed in the past, had very poor recovery rate, have not been profitable, and ultimately have not been able to have any kind of impact on agricultural development at all. So there has been a very negative image associated with agriculture finance and rural finance. I think that what is really important to mention is that time has really changed, because this image of agriculture finance and rural finance has been there for many, many years. I would say it's back maybe 20 years back or 25 years back. And for the last maybe 5 or 10 years, the whole situation has changed. First of all, in the rural area, things have really changed, because even the rural poor household have already developed their own strategy to cope with their very risky environment, and have diversified their income source, they have diversified their activities, and they are now not so much as risk as what we have seen in the past. And secondly, if we look at agriculture, globally, there is a great new demand for agriculture produce, because there are emerging markets from emerging countries like China, Brazil, India, that has very high demography and a lot of needs for agriculture produce. So the market for agriculture produce has really developed, and even within countries itself, there is now new market, because there is a middle class that has emerged in many of the countries. There is, through urbanization, households that have now new consumption needs, and also new purchasing power that has been developed. So this is creating a new market for agricultural produce. Of course, it may not be exactly the same kind of agricultural produce at what the conservative traditional producers are producing for their own consumption at village level, but the market is there, and so is the opportunity. So farmers can now produce for a market that has the purchasing power to create revenues for farmers who want to produce for that market. And thirdly, I would say that now we are seeing new actors coming in the rural and agriculture landscape. New actors being the private sector. 20 years back, in many countries, agriculture still was very much oriented by the governments and the state-owned firms, who are sometimes have the monopoly of purchasing agricultural produce. With liberalization, there is a new scope for private sector to come in. Private sector from the country itself, for example, those traders who have supermarkets in the cities who are very much willing to buy from the farmers the kind of produce that they need, but also, of course, foreign private sector actors who come to buy produce from the local producers for an export market. So what we are seeing is, first of all, new actors, new opportunities, and new behaviors in the rural area. And all this means new opportunities for financing. And we should see the new rural finance as the methodologies and the products to meet the needs of these new actors when they want to seize these new opportunities and when they are developing their new strategies and their new entrepreneurial behavior in the rural areas.